Oh, welcome. Sorry, I didn't mean to get
Technical
in the way.
difficulties, guys.
We're trying to make ourselves fit. Oh, there we go. Is that okay? Does that work right there? It fell in. That's pretty good, huh? You gotta kind of get into it more. Okay. Welcome. We're eating lunch. I'm surprised she didn't try to out me for eating grocery store sushi.
I did.
On camera.
Oh. You want to?
No.
I move back.
There we go.
Move better.
Yeah, I should probably move back too.
When your temper is supposed to be.
Wow. Interesting.
It's kind of hot in here.
It is kind of hot in here. My car doesn't have working AC, so
That's a struggle. Especially here in California.
I like we say that, and it never gets hotter than like 80 degrees.
It does. In summer.
Not really though.
Yeah?
Not really.
Sometimes I be dying in our house.
Okay, but we don't hit into like the hundreds or anything like that.
Yeah, that's true.
So, also, if you're wondering, yes, I do eat sushi with my hands. I'm not a...
She can't use chopsticks
No.
because she's whack.
I am whack. I can't do it. So I guess the one thing I can really think of right now, the first topic would probably be Falcon and the Winter Soldier. I saw a meme that summed up my one of the biggest takeaways from the episode for me, which was, why is it sad that I trust Zemo more than I trust the new Captain America? True. And also, when did Sharon Carter become such a snarky sasshole? Like when she called Bucky.
I don't know. I've always kind of had it out for her. I didn't really like her.
I think, honestly,
I was just jealous because she.
I think that wasn't her fault though. I think it was kind of the director's fault, because she kind of came out of nowhere, and then all of a sudden her and Steve had this little unspoken thing.
Literally.
And then the bomb gets dropped, which is Peggy's niece, and so you're kind of like, oh great, that's not awkward at all. I was just totally in love with your aunt 70 years ago, wanted to dedicate my life to her, and now we're making out.
That was kind of...
It was a
big surprise.
It was a little much. I can agree on that one.
But yeah, I'm trusting Zemo just a little bit because he's actually pretty funny.
I think his little dance scene is gonna go down in Marvel history.
It is gonna go down in Marvel.
It's gonna be a meme for a while.
That was freaking hilarious.
That was really hilarious, actually. I'm kind of sad that we're already halfway through with it, and I feel like it just started, which it kind of did because it's only 6-7 episodes long.
Yeah.
So I'm a little sad about that. I kind of wish that these little series were longer, but I guess maybe if they're shorter, then the filming and editing, post-production process is gonna be shorter. I was really, really sad that WandaVision was only just that. How many ever episodes it was, that was all it was ever going to be. And I guess it makes sense because technically Vision is gone, but there's the white Vision running around who has all of Vision's memories. And
oh, I thought he died.
No, he flew off.
I thought Vision destroyed him.
He flew off.
I didn't really watch it.
He flew off, and Vision had kind of changed his perspective because he was basically created to take down Wanda and Vision. So Vision got through to him, was able to put his memories and basically the core of his being into him, and that Vision changed his perspective and took off. And so he's out around somewhere. I'm wondering if he's gonna cameo in anything coming up, like the Doctor Strange movie or something, or maybe be in an after credit scene. But I'm also kind of sad that we haven't gone back to the girl that Bucky went on a date with, that he walked out on.
The Asian girl?
Yeah.
From the sushi place?
Unless he never goes back there and that was just like a one-time thing.
I feel like it was her. But I saw when I think it was like one of the first trailers that came out for this, when they introduced Sam's sister. People were like, "Oh my god, what's her name? Is it Sarah? Bucky and Sarah."
Oh yeah.
I was like,
Sam's sister.
maybe. Because I don't think she has a husband, but she has kids.
I think maybe he either passed or he's not in the picture. I'm not sure though. They don't really talk about it yet, so maybe they will get into it.
John Walker, when he went into that facility and everything, I'd be like, I feel like he was trying too hard. He was kind of similar to Steve, but I feel like I think Steve could kind of control himself a little bit. He had a lot more, empathy. He wasn't super like, oh,
because
I'm just
I feel like
burst in here and kill you.
No, because I kind of feel like Steve, him being the way that he was and being Captain America in the way that he was Captain America, it just came natural to him. For John, I'm not saying he's not a good person.
He feels like he has to live up to that same
and that he doesn't want to, like, I feel like he's trying too hard to be a hero. And that's, first of all, so disgenuine. And second of all, anybody who wants to be a hero and is trying to be a hero usually never ends up being a hero. And half the time they even end up being the villain because they're trying so damn hard. Yeah, so I don't know. He got a little crazy, and it was just a little much for me. That's kind of why I'm glad he has his like, not sidekick. I wouldn't say a sidekick, but like his friend.
I don't know what's his name.
I think his name is his superhero name is Battlestar.
But like his name.
I don't remember.
I don't know if he said it very often.
I don't know if he said it either. I think he introduces himself a couple of times to Steve and Bucky, or at least once to Steve and Bucky. I mean Steve and Bucky. Sam and Bucky. And I can't remember for the life of me his name. But he seems pretty level-headed. I like him.
He's the one who has to like kind of rein him in.
And he's a pretty supportive friend. He always seems like he's supporting
He seems genuine.
Yeah, John. I still don't really like John. I don't know if I ever will. I kind of have a feeling he's going to go down a route that like nobody's really gonna like him, to be honest with you though. But yeah.
That's probably what Marvel wants.
I think so. That's probably the whole point.
They have a plan.
There's a plan, yeah, exactly.
Star-Spangled Man with a plan.
I was watching a video, I don't remember if it was on Instagram or on TikTok, but they were talking about how John Walker's first interview was kind of like, it was very reminiscent of
Tony Stark,
and when he like reveals himself to be the Iron Man. And that was like the complete opposite of everything Captain America stood for. And even when Cap like was put on stage in front of people, he was so embarrassed and he hated it. And it was all like kind of fake to him. He didn't want any of that stuff.
He wanted to save people. He wanted to help people. But they were like, no, you're just here for...
You're a poster boy, basically. You're a poster boy. At the end of the day, that's pretty much what he was. And so
honestly, he wasn't Captain America because America made him Captain America. He was just Captain America because
he was.
That's just who Steve naturally was. And I feel like they tried doing that with... I don't even know if he has the serum. Do you think he has the serum in him?
I don't. A big part of me believes that he doesn't. And that's why I think... And I also... I saw this too, because one time, he used a gun. And I do remember Steve using a gun one time, and this was back when he was still fighting Hydra and Nazis in Germany. And John Walker used a gun, and I'm pretty sure he had the gun on him. And I was just thinking to myself, I remember seeing Captain America use a gun one time. Once. And it wasn't very often though, after that. No, after that he kind of did everything with his bare hands and his shield.
Yeah.
So
wasn't always like the best choice, but
again,
that's just how he chose to fight.
I think at this point we're all kind of being nitpicky because we don't like this character.
Yeah.
But it was much. It was a little much for me.
Even though Steve always kind of got his ass beat because he still had the serum, but he was still kind of human.
Yeah.
But he still stood his ground.
He still technically wasn't their Batman. I feel like if you really want to like think about who their Batman is, it's probably still more of
Tony.
Well, Tony in the sense that he's making all the gadgets and he's in charge, but as far as the humanity goes, Clint. Because even in Civil War, like when they're fighting, Clint gets his butt handed to him, so does Natasha, because they're pretty much just humans with really like exceptional abilities.
Natasha never had the serum, huh? When she was with in the Red Room?
No, but I think in the comic book she does have a serum. Oh. There is a serum, and she is sort of like a little bit superhuman, if I'm not mistaken. I also want to talk about
Bucky Nat.
Oh my god, I really wish we would have gotten Bucky Nat. I think that would have been amazing. I stan Bucky Nat so hard, and
no offense to like Bruce or anything, but that was just kind of weird.
I feel like they kind of just pushed that relationship for no reason, like just to have her be with somebody. And Bruce is like really pure, really adorable.
I feel like he doesn't really need that kind of thing. I mean, he does show emotion, like when she eventually ends up passing, or finding out that she passed.
But I just didn't, even from the very beginning, even when the first time they ever meet, I didn't get those vibes that like, oh yeah, they were gonna totally
like
end
they
up
were
together.
Endgame. No,
I didn't.
They were not Endgame. Sorry about it.
If anything, I think if you didn't really know like the whole storyline, people were thinking her and Clint had something going on, even though like that was just not a thing. They have an unspoken thing, but more of like a sibling,
like a platonic
thing.
Like
a sibling level or like best friend level. Yeah, the Bruce and Nat thing was, I think that was just a little.
It was kind of. I feel like it was kind of forced, kind of like how Steve and Sharon was kind of forced. But they never end up going back with, or Steve never ends up like going back to her or anything until like Falcon and Winter Soldier, because she has to leave. Yeah. Spoiler warning.
Yeah, spoiler alert. I think it's kind of sad sometimes too that these actors, like you see them in these movies and then like because they were in these movies for so long and they were filming them for so long, I haven't seen a lot of them in other movies besides maybe like one with Evans, which was where Bella.
Damn it.
She stained her pants.
Ah shit.
Stop cussing.
I just washed these.
Well, you're gonna have to get home and wash them again. Why don't you carry a Tide pen like Dad?
Because I'm not Dad. I'm pissed now. I'm gonna rage.
Just on her pants.
I'm gonna sue.
Oh my god.
Sue LNL.
I was also gonna say, today is Paul Rudd's birthday. Everybody go and tell Paul Rudd happy birthday.
He smells like babies.
He smells like babies.
And I don't even know where the hell you got that
amazing. From. You don't need to know where I got it from.
Oh, it's warm in here.
And I was also wanting to, if the internet knows, can you please tell me why everybody hates Jeremy Renner? I'm not saying that like I don't know if what he did or didn't do, but like can somebody tell me why they don't like him?
I've just heard that he's kind of a weird person.
I've seen
not that that's bad or anything.
Like a lot of people on Twitter that I follow always talk about like how they don't like his character anymore because of like something that he did, but like I don't know what he did. So if you can explain to me what he did,
I saw another TikTok.
Maybe it'll make sense.
It was like
but
what Marvel like fans kind of choose to ignore that Clint became like a mass murderer after the.
He did.
I don't know if he was killing everybody.
I think he was killing bad people.
Yeah, I think he was.
So I mean, just because they were like all that was left of the population doesn't mean that he wasn't like doing the Lord's work.
I feel like I've seen a video of someone explaining why Jeremy Renner like is kind of
canceled
or unliked. I feel like he might have said some stuff that's controversial. I don't know, maybe it's just because of his hands. I don't know.
You're mean. We're gonna cut that out. You're mean.
You don't even freaking edit, but you don't know how to.
Yes, I do.
No, you don't.
Well, I'm cutting that out too.
But I don't know. People are trying to also cancel Chris Pratt though. For like supporting, I don't know, was it homophobic church or something? Homophobic
or something
racist,
like that.
I don't know. But I don't know. I don't know how to feel about that.
Yeah, I don't know how to feel about it either. And
because then if I start like, not that I'm gonna try to like sweep it under the rug, like it's not like a bad thing, but now I'm not gonna see him the same way as he was before. Like I knew all that stuff. Now it's kind of ruined my experience with the Guardians now.
It makes me kind of sad too, because then when you see people like talking about like the movies or whatever, and they're like, yeah, but like the worst Chris is in that movie, so we don't want to watch it. And it's just kind of like, oh, that sucks, you know? Like it does kind of ruin that experience, because you love Peter Quill, but I mean, you can love Peter Quill and not like Chris Pratt though, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I feel like that's where the line guy has to be drawn sometimes. Like, just because you hate a character doesn't mean you have to hate the actor. Just because you hate the actor doesn't mean you have to hate the character. There's like, you know? And I get why people, like, you know, would not want to support him because of his views or whatever, and that's totally up to you, you know? You do you. But again, there has to be some sort of, like, differentiation between the actor and the character, because they're not the same thing.
Yeah, they're not the same person.
That's why sometimes I feel like, too, it gets a little overboard when somebody is like, oh, I hate this character, and therefore, like, this actor is, like, trash. I hate them. They're awful people. And you're like, how, though? They're just doing their job. You know, some people are just good at playing unlikable characters.
Yeah.
You know? There's a lot of actors that typically play bad guys more than they play good guys, and just because they're good at it. It doesn't mean that they're bad people. They're just good at their job.
Yeah. I'm trying to think. We've seen a lot of actors do that. I'm just drawing a blank on their names.
Sometimes I feel like,
what's the guy from Civil War? The guy in the beginning, Rumlow. I feel like he always plays bad guys. I don't know what his name is in real life.
I don't remember what his name is either, but he also came out in The Purge, the new Purge, the one where they're like the female president's coming out and he like protects her. He's good in that movie, and he actually plays a pretty good. Oh, okay. I only watched it. I don't even remember why I watched it, but I watched it because I'm not really into those movies.
I'm trying to think. We always have conversations with that.
I feel like Gary Oldman comes out as a bad guy a lot.
I'm not good with actors' names.
Did you watch the Batmans, the Christian Bale Batmans?
Yeah.
Commissioner Gordon, the guy with the glasses. He comes out as a bad guy quite a bit. The guy, his name is Sam something.
Samwise?
No. Samwise Gamgee. No, he is the hero of Lord of the Rings, and if you don't believe that, you are wrong.
Frodo
you
was
will not
literally
change my mind.
just
Frodo
a mess.
is nothing compared to the Samwise Gamgee.
Sam.
He's in the Charlie's Angel movie with Drew Barrymore and Cameron Diaz, and I'm usually really, really good at celebrity names, so this probably kind of digs into the archives.
Are you gonna look it up right now?
Yeah, I'm gonna look it up. But he even comes out as a bad guy in Green Mile. What you mean? Wow, I was gonna be really upset.
It probably would have been louder, but I sucked at
it. Nope, not the one with Kristen Stewart.
I never saw that.
I didn't either. Didn't need to.
I feel like Charlie's Angels was before my time.
Yeah, kind of.
I don't know what's good. I've been told.
She does.
By literally all of my family.
She really doesn't.
Sorry, y'all just old.
Wow, interesting. His name is Sam Rockwell.
What does he look like?
He always comes out as a bad guy, I feel like. That guy right there.
Oh.
He's always a bad guy. Don't know why, but he's always a bad guy. You know who's always a good guy, though? Tom Hanks. I just saw a picture of Tom Hanks.
Okay, that was random.
I'm sorry.
Tom Hanks.
But there are some actors that really just, they're always a bad dude, and you're like, wow, you must be just really good at Being mean.
Being mean or being an asshole. I'm trying to think. We've had this conversation multiple times with Dad. Dad's better at, I feel like, actors' names than I am. Or you guys both are.
It's just sometimes when you're in the moment, some of them, you know them as their characters, but you don't know them as their...
I'm trying to think of like Marvel
their
characters.
actor name.
Or like
the guy who plays Zemo plays a good villain.
Yeah. I've never seen him.
He's kind of a likable villain now, which is weird though.
I've never seen him in anything else. Like I don't watch like The Alienist or anything like that.
Oh.
I've only seen him as Zemo. Michael B. Jordan.
I'm
just kidding.
I don't know if I've seen him as a villain in anything else. So that's why I'm like,
he was the Human Torch in the new Fantastic Four,
which is terrible.
Terrible.
Don't watch that. It's not worth your time.
0 out of 10. No offense to the actors.
Yeah, no offense to the actors. I'm sure that they didn't know that that was gonna end in the train wreck that it did, but it did.
Who is that? Or it's not. He doesn't play a bad guy, but he plays a weirdo. That guy from SVU you saw.
Which one?
He had like, I don't know his name. He was in SVU. You're like, he always plays a freak in the movies.
Oh,
I don't know what
his name is.
Not a freak, but he always plays a weird people.
Michael Shannon? I think his name is Michael Shannon. I've seen him in multiple movies where he's the bad guy. So he's the bad guy. I remember him being the bad guy in Man of Steel. I watched.
Oh, sure he was, huh?
If you watch the Runaways, he's their manager who was like a complete douche lord. I've seen him in another movie where I think at first he tries to like play like he's the good guy, and then at the end, like it's revealed that he's actually one of the bad guys. He comes out as a bad guy a lot. I don't know why, but he does. And I'm not saying that he's a freak. He just a lot of his characters are very different, and his acting style I feel like is kind of reminiscent maybe of his personality a little bit. So it's a little like it's different. He almost kind of like he shows a lot of emotion, but is void of emotion at the same time. Like he doesn't show a lot of like emotion. I don't know. It's weird. It's different.
He kind of like. I think I'm gonna keep saying he looks like a Frankenstein, like with his brow bone and like the way his eyes are.
You need to be nice,
bro.
He just has a bad thing. He just has like his facial structure is different.
He has like
he's got a really pronounced like brow.
I feel like he kind of has not that square of a head, but like I don't know. His face reminds me of like a Frankenstein, but it's not bad.
I think it's because like the top is square.
Yeah.
It's very.
And he kind of has crazy eyes.
He does. I think that's why I'm saying like he plays those characters because it just I don't know. And again, maybe he's like that, maybe he's not. I don't know.
I don't know. Oh, Temptation Island's tonight, dog.
Oh, that's right.
Temptation Island. Oh my God. Kendall can go
straight to the dungeon.
He can go straight to hell.
They're
spoiler.
I honestly think they're the most toxic couple of this season, but not because she's toxic, because he's toxic.
You guys watch Temptation Island, you will automatically hate the man. His name is Kendall. He's
awful. He's pretty awful.
Awful. He's kind of manipulative. He thinks his shit don't stink, and he's a cheater.
Yeah, he's a cheater too.
And if his girlfriend goes back to him, I'm gonna be pissed.
As we were saying,
take two.
Yeah, he's just really, really toxic, and I don't understand why. I don't know. It's like, who hurt you? What kind of childhood did you have? Do you have like a mother issue, a father issue? He's got a very toxic attachment style, and it's just not good.
Yeah.
My favorite couple of the season is the one with the really buff guy with all the tattoos.
I think his name is Julian.
Okay, Julian. Yeah. I forget what his girlfriend's name is, but he's very like dedicated to making their relationship like a positive space for both of them. And both of them are, I think, at this point now, which is really cool.
Because in the beginning, like she did not trust him at all, which is, I guess, granted, because I think he has said before he's cheated on her, I think twice. But they've been together for like
a long
11 years since they were in high school. But you can just tell that he's kind of already dedicated to her. At least that's what we're saying.
I think they've both kind of, because the whole point, if you've never seen Temptation Island, the whole premise is there's like what, 5-6 couples or something like that.
4 couples.
Oh, 4 couples, my bad. They go to Hawaii, and the male counterpart of the couple goes to stay in a house full of single women, and the females go to stay in a house full of single men, and they're there to either mend their relationship or realize that their relationship isn't like what they want anymore, and then they decide to leave with somebody else.
But that doesn't mean they have to leave with somebody. That could just be a journey.
They can leave by themselves. Yeah, they don't have to leave with somebody.
They don't have to find anybody else.
You just kind of like basically trying to like find yourself,
like a growth journey.
It's supposed to be like a growth experience,
either in your relationship and yourself or in other people or something. But yeah.
So they all, some of them struggle really bad.
Yeah.
Some of them fall off the horse really quickly and then kind of realize that they made mistakes. Some of them are just kind of ready to be in other relationships to begin with.
And some are just ready to just kind of go on a journey by themselves.
So I feel like the reason why I kind of really like that couple is because, you know, they weren't sure whether they kind of wanted to go off by themselves, but now they're starting to realize, wow, like we've totally been like putting up blocks against each other that we didn't even realize. And now like it's kind of gotten us to a point where we like stopped connecting with each other, and now we need to like really work to reconnect, because that's gonna either make or break our relationship. So I really like them, and I really like that he's being very respectful, very honest about the mistakes he's made, and
he's not trying to lead anybody on.
No,
like any of the girls or anything like that. He's always like multiple times has said that he loves his girlfriend. And I think one of the girls that he went on a date with, he said that she actually reminded him of his girlfriend.
Aww.
But yeah, she was kind of, in the last episode we watched, she kind of got into a fight with not in a fight, but like kind of like an altercation with one of the other single girls. But I think one of them ended up getting voted off.
Oh.
But it was kind of, like he was kind of like, not feeling her, but like they were kind of making a connection.
Like friendly?
Friendly.
Oh, okay.
Not like anything like that. At least to him it wasn't.
Okay.
And when she kind of popped off that like one of those nights, he was like, damn, I didn't even realize that she had that in her. Yeah. Like he was like, oh, maybe those are not her true colors, but you never really know.
Yeah.
With somebody, obviously, but a lot of these couples or like the single people, they're like, oh, we're making a connection, like all of this, all of that, but like that's not real life. You're literally on an island for like a month. You're on
this beautiful island where you get all of, I think it's, I want to say this is like an all-inclusive, all expense paid like trip. Like when you're going on dates, you're just asking somebody out and they're setting the entire like thing up for you. So you're not in the real world, and half of these people don't even live in the same place. They're not even from the same areas. They come from all over the US. So if you're from Florida and you know he's from New York or California or whatever, when you get back into the real world, one of you is going to have to move to the other one, or you're going to have to meet in the middle or come up with some sort of arrangement, because you know, and then when you're in this like perfect little bubble where everything's great and you get to spend all this time with each other,
seems possible.
You know, you're basically in this like simulation of like the honeymoon phase. Of course everything's going to be great, but once you get out into the real world, not that you can't keep going with like that positive relationship, but you know, it gets harder.
It's hard.
So especially that's one thing you have to understand. Yeah.
And the thing that gets me too, especially about what's his name, Kendall, he's been pretty much with the same girl the entire time, the girl he cheated on his girlfriend with.
Yeah.
And for me, if a guy does that, I'd be like, what makes me think that he's not gonna do that to me? Like he's literally cheating on his girlfriend with me. What makes me think that
he won't do that?
He won't do that to me. That's the whole thing with me. Like, if he's doing this to be with you, what makes you think that he's not gonna do it again to be with another girl?
Yep.
That's just mind blowing to me. And she, I mean, bless her soul, but sometimes that's just red flags.
Yeah,
the red flags are right in your face, and she just is ignoring it. And like the way he talks, he has like no really like emotion.
I'm misunderstanding why so many of these girls are into him, because, and no offense, you know, I'm not trying to be mean, he doesn't have personality.
He doesn't. You know, his whole personality is manipulating people into thinking he has a personality.
Exactly.
He makes people think he has a personality. He's all deep inside, or he's deep and everything. when that's literally just a front, just probably to
What I also thought was hilarious,
get on people's good side.
they, on the end of every week, they have what's called a bonfire. And the guy who is the host and producer of the show, which it's funny enough, his name is Mark Wahlberg, but he's not like Marky Mark, like Mark Wahlberg. He sits down with them.
I love Mark Wahlberg.
They're separately. Sits down with the guys and sits down with the girls separately. And they show them clips of like what happened, like one clip of their significant other throughout the week, and it could be anything.
And there's no context. Like you just,
context.
You don't see what happened before. You don't see what happened after. It's just literally one instance of their experience.
So Kendall got to see a video of his girlfriend, and I forget what she was talking about. But she said something along the lines of like, I'm kind of done. Like, this is not okay. I don't want to do this anymore. And how she knew what he was doing, and like it was just really disrespectful. And when he gets in the car, I think he's like upset because of something she said or did. And there's another guy who's like all heartbroken because his girlfriend's making a connection with another guy, which he's making a connection with another girl. And the moment he sees her doing it, he loses it. He's crying, you know, like he doesn't know what to do with himself. And the two guys, the two other guys that are both pretty respectful, still really love their girlfriend, want to be with them. They're sitting there and they're like, you know, we're here for you, dude. We got your back. And then Kendall says something that the two of them are like, they look at each other and they're like, this guy is toxic. Like, what comes out of his mouth is
he was like, oh,
toxic.
you have somebody at the house to help you or whatever.
Oh yeah, you have somebody at the house to help you through it.
Not just us. Like,
basically, like just saying, oh, just
get another girl.
Yeah, go rub your nose in another set of cleavage because that'll help you feel better.
The guy who's like upset and kind of heartbroken, he's had like a flirty kind of past and personality, and that's why his girlfriend doesn't trust him. But they're both kind of being really hypocritical because they're making connections with the person in the house, but they're not happy that the other person's making a connection. At this point, I feel like his girlfriend just kind of doesn't really, not that she doesn't care, but she's trying to make herself be like, I'm done, I've seen enough. But what I think it is I think she's trying to make herself feel better, the fact that she's connecting with somebody. But the stuff she's done, at least the stuff that they've showed him, what hasn't even been as bad as the kind of the stuff that he's done. I
got to see a clip of him putting lotion on another girl and smacking her in the butt.
Yeah. He was literally putting it on her ass. Or her butt, sorry.
I don't know what he's seen of her. I think he saw her.
They were in the pool, and I guess he was like hugging
some guy
her from
hugged
behind.
her. Yeah.
Or like they were just like,
and he was not happy.
Yeah, he wasn't happy about it. But later on, they don't show it. I don't know if they're gonna show it.
They could.
They might at the bonfire, but they end up kissing, which is just like the one time that they've ever actually kissed each other.
I mean, that's kind of all it takes, though.
Yeah. But the girl who they played really bad. Sorry. Sorry, I just noticed that. The girl who he's with, she kind of, it's hard to explain. Like, she's a lot younger than him, and they're making a connection. He's been with like the same girl for like almost the entire time. And she's really nice. She's really bubbly. She's I think Latina.
She's too young for him,
but
though.
Yeah,
he's already in his mid-30s, and she's only like 24.
Yeah, he's like 38 maybe,
and she's like 24.
I think she's like 22 or something.
Oh, actually, maybe she's 22.
I think she's younger.
She honestly though has like no idea, and I think she just kind of needs to like pump the brakes a little bit, because I don't even think she would know what to do with herself in that relationship. So she's hoping, like, I guess she really likes him.
But I feel like after seeing his girlfriend like that, he might be like, no.
I think he might cut that relationship off, to be honest.
One of the other couples, I don't remember their names. They're both white. They're there because they ultimately just kind of wanted to work on themselves. Or it didn't start out like that. It's kind of how it's ending up. But the girl, she's an athlete, or she was an athlete. She played professional soccer or something, or almost did.
She kind of,
she's had other like professional athlite boyfriends,
relationships, and she kind of like emasculates her current boyfriend and kind of makes him feel like less of a man.
Because sometimes like she'd be like, oh yeah, he's not masculine enough in some ways.
And he because of that, I think he's really started to lack confidence in himself.
And you can honestly tell throughout like what the episodes have been more recently, that he has gotten so much more confidence in himself. He's starting to, he's like a lot more, like he smiles a lot more. He's honestly genuinely trying to make connections, but at the end of the day, I feel like he still loves his
really wants to work on his relationship with his girlfriend.
And she has like had like an epiphany almost the entire time, because she was like, wow, she cries almost every single episode because she
didn't realize that she was making him feel so bad about himself.
And one of the clips that they showed, it wasn't even of him saying anything. It was some of the other single girls saying like, oh, I think she just brought him here just to kind of a way to say that I'm gonna break up with him. But she's like, nope, she's like, wow, I never realized that's how I made him feel.
Yeah.
Or that's how I made him like just.
I didn't realize that was the energy I was giving off, because that's not what I really want. So she's kind of struggling with herself, and I think she also has issues she's had from like past relationships and traumas that she hasn't really dealt with, and so that's why she's kind of like, I think she's emasculated him to push him away because she's afraid. I think having that connection and being in that relationship is scary to her. So she's struggling, but they're finding their way to this like common ground, this like common middle ground.
Can we just talk about Mark Wahlberg for a second? He is such
the host of the show is amazing.
He's an amazing guy. He must be like a marriage counselor or something, because he says some deep stuff.
He says some really deep stuff, and he also like talks to them in a way that's not condescending. He doesn't try to lean one way or the other, but he will kind of in so many ways tell them like, ooh, like, I don't know about that.
Like, are you sure this is what you're saying
like really isn't, you know,
isn't adding up, or
no. And he also kind of gets them to be like, well, this is about you and your journey and your experience, so how are you feeling? What do you feel? What do you think? And how do you think you're growing or not growing, or like in what direction do you think you're going?
And he like the guy whose girlfriend was the guy who wasn't very confident, he like one of the episodes that one of the bonfires that they had, he even like acknowledged and noticed that like you are becoming such a more confident person in yourself. You've been growing, and he was hyping him up, and I was like, oh, that's so cute.
Or even Kendall's girlfriend, he was basically telling her like, you know, you're right, it's not okay for you to be treated like that, and if you don't want to be treated like that, then don't, because you deserve so much more than that. You deserve to be treated the way that you treat others, and the way that you would want to be respected in a relationship. And if that's not working for you, then it's not, and you reserve the right to say like, I'm not going to put up with that. So he's a really positive influence, I would say, on the
and he's not harsh or anything, like, especially with the girls when they get emotional.
He's not condescending either, but sometimes he definitely does know when somebody's crossing a line or a barrier, and it's kind of like,
especially with the guys.
I don't understand. Like, there was a guy last season named, or I think it was last season, maybe 2 seasons ago, his name was David, and he was extremely toxic. He was a sociopath. Like, honestly, he was a legit sociopath. Extremely toxic, and there was a couple times that Mark called him out, I'm pretty sure, in so many words. Like, not straight out the gate, but he called him out and kind of made him feel and you know, look awful, which was how he was portraying himself, was really awful.
But at the end of the day, it didn't help. He was still super toxic in the reunion.
He got there toxic, left toxic, came back to the relationship and the reunion, and was still toxic. So some people just don't learn.
And that poor girl or whatever, lady, but she kind of,
I honestly, I feel like she was just so like used to the relationship that she didn't really know how to leave, but also at the same time, I think she lacked some of the
like she depended on him to make her feel like she wasn't comfortable being like by herself, and I guess that was like
a big thing for her.
And it's like, I guess he was like the only thing she had, or that's what it made it seem like.
Yeah. So it was hard. It was a struggle. It was one of those, you know, hard situations. No judgment, but you know, I think she needed to have left him a long time before that.
But yeah, new episode tonight.
Go watch it. I think it comes on at 10. What channel?
USA.
I
don't know what channel it is. We'll have different.
Yeah, you have different cables, but I just meant like the network.
It's USA.
Yeah, I kind of feel like that's a good place to end it right there. We're gonna go
as long as last time.
The last time. We're gonna go and do a little shopping. So we shall see you in the next one. Peace out.